Are you lying awake at night worried about sending your child with ADHD or sensory processing disorder back to school? Maybe you're dreading the calls from teachers about focus issues, the meltdowns over homework, or just watching your brilliant child struggle in an environment that just doesn't seem to be built the way for their brain to work appropriately. If you're like most parents that we meet, you've tried counselors, you've tried behavior charts, you've maybe even considered medication or tried medication, but you're still searching for answers because none of those things are actually helping, and you want to actually get to the heart of their issues. In 2022 alone, an additional 1 million United States children received an ADHD diagnosis compared to 2016. Sensory processing challenges are actually affecting nearly 1 in every 6 children, yet most doctors are still approaching things the same way that they have the past 20 years, and they're just managing the symptoms instead of actually addressing the root cause. And what if I told you that there's a completely different approach that's helping children not just survive as they move back to school, but it's helping them thrive? Let's talk about it. Here's what most people are missing. ADHD and SPD struggles often trace back to an overactive sympathetic nervous system, and that's the fight or flight side that keeps the child constantly on edge. At the same time, their parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, which controls focus and learning and emotional balance, is staying underactive because it's so suppressed by that fight or flight side. So this imbalance can start way back in early life from stressors like prenatal stress, birth interventions, or chronic environmental stressors. And if that stress never gets fully released and never gets addressed, then the nervous system stays in a fight or flight mode, and everyday life becomes an uphill battle. Just simple things like getting dressed to go to school are an uphill battle. Once you get to school and you have classwork that kids need to do, that can be an uphill battle. Homework at the end of the day spills over. It's just chaos. What I want to do is present to you 5 simple strategies that you can apply very easily to help your ADHD kid or your SPD kid or your kid that just seems to get overwhelmed cope with the things that they're dealing with. So the first thing is prioritize sleep like it's gold. Quality sleep is where the brain can actually recharge, it processes emotions, and then it also locks in learning. And for kids with ADHD or sensory processing disorder, improving sleep can be a huge turning point. So what I'd suggest is that you try adjusting bedtimes in 15-minute increments. If they're going to bed too late, don't shift it back, an hour, but shift it back 15 minutes at a time as they're going back from summertime sleep schedules to school time sleep schedules. And then once you get to an ideal time, keep that consistent, keep bedtimes consistent, keep wake up times consistent, and then that'll help build calm. The other thing that you should do as well is limit screen time before bed, at least an hour before your kids are going to bed. Let's say turn off screens, get rid of phones, all that stuff, so that their brains can actually calm down. The second thing is structure their environment for success. Organization isn't just about neatness, it's really about reducing the mental load on a stressed nervous system. So you can use color-coded systems, family command center, and consistent routines so that your child can focus their energy on learning, not just on keeping track of what's next. It's really important that if there is mess in a kid's life, right? And when I say mess, I mean like physical, like dirtiness, like if a room's super dirty, that actually affects number 1. If your room is disorganized and stressful, that actually makes it so that going to sleep, knowing that all that's happening around them, knowing that they're sleeping in their mess, can actually make it so that their life is a little bit more stressful. And so making sure that not only is organization and schedule important, but organization of the world around them is key. And I get it, right? I've got 5 kids of my own. I know how messy life can be. But what we found with our kiddo, one of our kids that is definitely on the SPD side of things, is if her room isn't organized, she doesn't sleep as good. She doesn't stay in her bed as good and sleep as well. And so that's a big piece to her puzzle, and could be a big piece to your kid's puzzle too. The third thing is move in the morning. There's actually research that shows from a book called Spark, from Dr. John Ratey's book, that exercise can rival medicine for some children with ADHD. So just 20 minutes of morning activity can boost mood, focus, and emotional regulation for the rest of the school day. It's as simple as, hey, let's go outside and play for 10-15 minutes, or let's do something together. It's okay to maybe wrestle. I understand that sometimes schedules are hard, right? And sometimes you're just waking your kid up just to get them to school. But if you can, this is a very simple thing, just get them to move a little bit in the morning. That can make a big difference. The fourth thing is reduce the overwhelm. So smaller, manageable transitions between activities at home and school can help avoid meltdowns. So even something as simple as a quiet corner, or at our home we have something called a calming zone where they can go and they can just chill for a second, and we have a list of activities and simple things that they can do in that calming zone, and even a chart that shows hey, these are the emotions that I'm feeling right now, and they can point to it to describe how they're feeling and just recognize within themselves what's going on. Having something like that at home is really important. And then maybe when you go to school, having some sort of sensory tool in their backpack can give them a place to reset or something to focus on to help them reset. So the fifth thing is arguably the most important thing, and it's addressing the nervous system first. This is the missing piece for so many families, and that's oftentimes why they end up finding their way to our office, because neurologically focused chiropractic care helps release stress from an overactive fight or flight system and activates that calming side of the nervous system, the resting, healing, relaxing side of the nervous system through the vagus nerve. And at our office, we're actually able to measure using advanced insight scans to see exactly where the stress is stuck on their nervous system. And then we help create a plan for their nervous system so that we can help them reset and build a foundation that's more solid. And here's something that's really important too. If those first four things feel nearly impossible for your child to do, those first four strategies, that's a red flag that their nervous system is too overwhelmed to respond in that case. And then number 5 isn't just helpful, it's essential. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If your kiddo can't do those first 4, or it doesn't help them enough, then number 5 really needs to happen. So if you're ready for your child to start the school year well regulated, confident, and supported from the inside out, this is where we need to start. So shoot us a message. You can drop us a DM, just drop a comment, and we'll walk you through exactly how we can help your child move from this stressful school year potential to happy, thriving, fun, excited school year potential.